All right. That is an action. This is awesome. First time being in a camera in a long time. Here, come here. Come in the video. Hello, welcome to M Empie's podcast. Jasper's camera shy. I'm not used to talking in front of a camera, but I can do it. I'm gonna get used to it. This will be easy peasy.
I'm making my new gaming room.
Jasper's making a gaming room, apparently. Been watching too much YouTube. So welcome. This podcast is going to be very, very wide whenever it comes to the genres we talk about. We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about goals. We're going to talk about business. Going to bring on guests. You know, Jasper's going to be my first guest. We're going to talk about literally everything. M Empie is my company, and it's growing daily. I have a flipping business that I like to do flips, and I also, through M Empie, have a couple employees. One for Do It Boys Power Washing is one of our businesses, and then another one is Alpha Music Productions, and that's DJing. So like school dances, weddings, pretty fun stuff. M Empie, this is under the table right now, but M Empie also started investing in stocks. So I do have, a very, very small team, but I have a strong team around me. Majority of it is me, but I got a lot of buddies helping me. I have a big family supporting me. I got a couple employees that just are the hardest workers I know, besides myself. And, this podcast is going to be pretty crazy. Okay, I'm just going to throw that out there. It's going to be, the behind the scenes of Marshall McGee. You're going to see everything. I'm going to open up to everything. You're going to see what goes on as life goes on, and you're going to see M Empie grow and expand. It's already growing, but people didn't really take it seriously until about a couple months ago. Right now, M Empie has, I can't say everything we have, but I have exposed that we have an RV and a boat, but I can't expose some of the other stuff that's kind of secretive.
Four-wheeler.
We do not have a four-wheeler. Not yet. So, M Empie is a very big company. It spans over a lot of things. Through M Empie, like I said, we own stocks. Through M Empie, I own 2 businesses and then 1 flipping business, so technically 3. But that flipping business is just me and me only, kind of just buying up stuff to sell later on, kind of small investments. And you'll get to see the business side of what I do. I am very young. I'm only 16. But I can promise you that I would impress you if I just opened up just this much of what's been happening. And this podcast is not to brag. This podcast is not to boast or anything like this. This podcast is just purely me opening up. As you well know, I don't post on Instagram near as much as I did whenever I was 12 years old.
And Marcus accidentally roll it drip and then pop.
If you understood Jasper's language, then you would understand what he just said. I'm going to leave everything in here. This podcast is going to be very exposed. It's going to be raw.
And
I don't care to have, a perfect image of myself. This podcast is going to be very open. I'm going to see what my personality is like, what my friends and family's personalities are like, how we get stuff done. I'm currently taking all online school, so I don't really...
And my new store.
I don't really do much of school anymore. I've just been focusing on myself recently and just focusing on making that money and I wouldn't say M Empire's quite the biggest business or company, yet, but it definitely will be by the time I graduate, if I graduate.
We'll end it.
And so we're just making a short video, just explaining that this
Go
podcast
follow Still Love.
is going to be weekly. I'm going to start off weekly at least, for sure. One genre a week, and those other videos will be a lot more organized. Literally
And
5
then
minutes
we-
before I set up this video, I just got my mic in the mail, and I got my backdrop in the mail. We're currently
And me and Aoife will get slip too.
in my what I call a Corvette room. It's just a room full of what I love, which is cars, little toy cars. You're actually sitting on the shelf that I have my cars on until I buy a camera stand. So yes, this podcast is raw. I honestly don't care about what my image looks like. I never once cared about being a cool kid. So you're gonna see exactly what goes on behind M Empire, and all I can say is there's big things happening with M Empire. So never doubt us and expect the greatest, because that's what you're going to get. So thank you. This is the first check-in, talking about what the podcast is going to look like. This is Jasper, my little brother. He has Down syndrome. Might have a form of Tourette's. We don't know. Jasper loves to talk, but we love him to death.
I'll beat Marshall half.
He's going to beat me in half. Okay? All right. So, thank you.